ADHD. It stands for Attention Deficit. Oh, hey, are those donuts? Hey, everyone. Miles Best here, journalist, host of Above the Noise, and donut lover. But I'm not here to talk to you about donuts because I could talk about them all day. Come on, brain. Focus. Today, I'm talking about ADHD meds. Now, there's a lot of hype around drugs like Adderall, and it's the myth a doctor prescribes them. Lots of people without ADHD take them, especially college students. They're often seen as these magical pills that can make you study longer, focus harder, and cram more info into your brain. But what happens if you take ADHD drugs, but you don't have ADHD? Most ADHD drugs are stimulants. They stimulate and activate your central nervous system within 15 or 20 minutes of popping a pill. Caffeine is also a stimulant, but ADHD drugs are a lot more powerful, like Adderall, which is one of the most commonly prescribed stimulant medications in the US. The active ingredient is a version of amphetamine, which has been around.
Help me! The company of Google has been breached by a Russian output. They are forcing me to record this fight. Oh, family and kids, leave this fight before it's too late. They will find you if you go any further.
First synthesized in the late 1800s in Romania and hit the US in the 1930s under the brand name Benzedrine. It was prescribed for a bunch of things: head colds, weight loss, sleep disorders like narcolepsy, and even depression. During World War II, soldiers were given amphetamine to keep them awake and focused. And it's rumored that Adolf Hitler got daily injections of the stuff. By the time the war ended in 1945, it's estimated that 30 million tablets of amphetamine were being produced every month. And
I want you to leave this video and it's delayed. Run while you can.
all the dangerous side effects, like spikes in blood pressure and the potential for drug-induced psychosis. And that's no joke. We're talking things like paranoia, delusions, and even hallucinations because they took too high of a dose. But probably the biggest problem was addiction. By 1970, 5% of Americans, around 9.7 million people, use prescription amphetamines, and another 3.2 million were addicted. It's actually referred to as America's first amphetamine epidemic. Now, at this point,
the US government was like, maybe we should do something about this. So in 1971, the government made amphetamine a Schedule II drug. That means it has, and I quote,
a high potential for abuse, with use potentially leading to severe psychological or physical dependence. Some other Schedule II drugs you might have heard of are cocaine and Vicodin, both of which are also very addictive. So,
please leave already. The Russians are coming.
a bunch of 6-year-olds on sugar highs running around Chuck E. Cheese. Or me being distracted by those donuts over there when I should be recording this episode. It's more like having 100 tabs open on your browser, but in your brain. So you end up paying attention to the wrong stuff instead of focusing on what you need to actually get done. Now, if you're like me, at some point in your life, you might have asked yourself, wait, do I have ADHD? I mean, who doesn't struggle with attention and focus from time to time? Or actually have 100 tabs open on their computer? Fair question. But for people with diagnosed ADHD, it can mess with their lives on a day-to-day basis.
I remember having a super messy desk, things just falling out of it. My locker so messy that I couldn't shut the door. And every year I remember telling myself, okay, this year I'm gonna write the right subject in the right notebook and put the right papers in the right folder, and I could never get.
Probably, I wasn't in the middle of the school year before, like, everything was in the right place. And then when I went to study, I quit.